Hello everyone. So today we are working with circles, and before we get started we're going to define a few terms. Our first one is circle, and that is a closed two-dimensional shape with an infinite set of points that are equidistant from a fixed point, which is also known as the center. Pretty basic. You've probably been working with circles for a while, but that's our official definition. And then the radius of a circle is the distance from the center of the circle to any point on the circle. So to draw a picture, it would look like, if this was the center, not really looks like the center, but that's okay. This would be the radius, and that's a straight line. Now, to write an equation of a circle, we have center radius form. You could either do standard form or center radius form, but today we're going to work with center radius form. And that looks like this. So we have the quantity x minus h squared plus the quantity y minus k squared equals r squared. R being our radius, and our center would then be hk, and like I said, our radius is r. This form of equation is good for identifying the radius and the center of the circle, which is what we are being asked to do today. But before we get started, we're going to be using complete the square, so if you do not remember that, go back and refresh your memory. We'll be working with it, so if you want, I can just show you, and maybe that'll refresh your memory. Otherwise, go back and maybe watch a few videos. But today for our problem, we are being asked to state the center and the radius of the circle, 8x plus 32y plus y squared equals negative 263 minus x squared. So let's get started. I'm gonna rewrite our equation out here. So we have 8x plus 32y plus y squared equals negative 263 minus x squared. So what we want to do first is get our equation to look like center radius form, because then from there we can easily see the center and the radius. So in order to do that, we need to get all of our variables on one side. So let's work with that. Let's move the x squared over to the left side by adding it to both sides. And then we have x squared plus 8x. And I'm going to move the y squared over, but it's the same thing. Y squared plus 32y equals negative 263. Now this is where complete the square is going to be coming into play. So I'm going to rewrite this, and hopefully it'll look a little bit more like complete the square to you. I'm going to use two different colors. It's orange. So we have x squared plus 8x, and I'm going to write a little spot, and this will leave us a spot for when we're completing the square, and the rest of the equation. Oops. So what you do to one side, you have to do to the other, so that's why I left two spots on the right side. So in order to complete the square, you have to, like I wrote over here, take your b value and divide it by 2a, and then square that, and that's how you figure out your c value, which would be right there. So our b value is 8, and we're going to divide that by 2a, which is 2 times 1, and we get 4, square that, 16 plus 16. So we are adding 16 over here, and also over here. Good. Now we're going to do the other part of the equation. So our b value is 32 divided by 2a, and we get 16. Square it, and we get a really big number, which is 256. Perfect. So we just completed the square there. And now it's all easy from here. And we are going to just rewrite our equations. So get it in, we're going to rewrite it. It's going to be x plus 4 squared plus, I'll do green again, y plus 16 squared. That's the same thing as this. And if we just combine terms over here, add them all up, we get 9. So if you look over here at our center radius form, it looks a little bit different than what we have as in these subtraction signs. So we can rewrite our equation over here to get it to look more like that and make it easier to identify the center. So let's just rewrite this. This means the same thing. When you're subtracting a negative number, you are basically adding it. I'm going to rewrite that. So over here, we are subtracting a negative number. It's the same thing as adding it. Subtracting a negative number again. And then over here, as you can see, our radius is being squared. So if we take the square root of it, we will just get r. So the square root of 9 is 3, and then square it to get 9. Same thing. So now we can easily identify our center and our radius. So our center is going to be -4, -16, and our radius is going to be 3 units because it is a distance. And we just solved the problem.